Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome into the studio. It's me, Andy, and today we're talking about an inexpensive Les Paul versus a very expensive Les Paul. A classic Les Paul, if you will. So I'm super curious, as maybe you are if you've clicked on this video, to find out if there's much of a difference, what the difference is between a $200 modern day, like, I don't know what year this thing is because I bought it used. I could look it up, but it's recent years, this Epiphone, and here they are, the two guitars, and the 1974 20th anniversary Gibson Les Paul Custom. Here, this is a very special Les Paul. This is from the Kalamazoo factory. It's all original. This was owned by my cousin, and who's since passed away. But this guitar is the first electric guitar I ever played. It's kind of, I held it up, on a pedestal like my whole life thinking about this guitar. And I always figured one day I will get a Les Paul, and of course I got to my 40s and I'm not going to ever have thousands of dollars that I feel like spending on a Les Paul. If I have thousands of dollars, it probably might be on something else. 'Cause Les Paul's, the tone is incredible and amazing, and of course the looks are just so Les Paul. But this is not the most ergonomic situation, a Les Paul. It's a quite heavy guitar. It's a little bit clunky and cumbersome. So, I did find myself later in life at a point where I did buy a $2,000 guitar. That's this Kiesel Osiris here, and I'm really glad, now that I actually have this actual Les Paul here, that I didn't spend that money like on a Les Paul. And so for a lot of reasons, we're going to talk about some of that stuff. But so the big headline is, if I had to buy one or the other, because look, truth be told, I sat down and I did test these tones a little bit before, like any good content maker. I practiced a little bit, just see what I'm getting into. And, got the amp turned on and listened to things. And I tracked out a rhythm thing a little for it. We're about to do it right now with each Les Paul. And as I was listening back, I couldn't tell the difference. I don't know what to tell you. And then I did a little solo bit. And the damn solo bit, I couldn't tell you can't really tell the difference. And so, I'm somewhat floored, I guess, and I'm somewhat not that floored. And so also in this, we have, and I'm looking at this is an Ableton project here. So also in this project, we have the same thing, but on the Kiesel. And you can hear, I'll show you. You can definitely hear the difference between like the Kiesel and the Les Paul, but then between the Les Paul Custom and the Les Paul Epiphone, not so much at all. So quite interesting. I did not expect this. My experience with this Les Paul so far has been, magical. I've never been the kind of person or guitar player that, put things on a pedestal per se, put certain guitars kind of up there, like, you got to spend a lot of money on a guitar if you, want to get a good guitar or whatever. I'm just not that guy. Over here you've got a $200 Ibanez Geo that I modded and is a great guitar. Next to that, an Ibanez 8-string. But out there in the other room is my old mainstay was a Schecter Elite, which, is kind of a hybrid between Strats and Les Pauls. I finally got a Strat a couple years ago, and like I said, this Kiesel. And so where this thing has fit in, this Les Paul, the custom, the real one, who's to say real? I use this for the really heavy passages, like my heavier stuff is not like metal. It's more like, pop punk or, like Green Day-ish. It's just like heavier stuff. I don't know. It goes all over the place. I shouldn't say that. But when I really want to throw down and really thicken things up and get like, this is just a high output thing, this guitar right here, right? And so that's how I found myself using it. And we'll turn the mic on. This is the number 3 channel on this Marshall DSL back here. And yeah, it's up loud. It's noisy. The 3, that's not the ultra high gain, it's just a high gain channel. So that's my little solo channel. Had a little delay on it. So we're gonna track this right now, right? I'm gonna go ahead, we'll drop this in, let you have a look over in the Ableton side of things. We're gonna drop that in, we'll put that one right here. We don't need that solo banging our ears, do we? What we tracked was this. So what we'll do is change guitars. Okay, so now we've got the Epiphone Les Paul here. Let's drop that same thing in over here in the next slot down. Okay, now let's listen to just the track, just the guitar part we just did. Just the part we just did. Here's the Les Paul Custom 74. And there is this one, the Epiphone. Ready? Epiphone. Les Paul. Epiphone. Les Paul. Do you hear a difference? Now, just so you know, it is possible to hear a difference. Let's play this one up here. This is the Kiesel. Noticeably different. Go to a Les Paul. That's the 74 Kiesel. 74 Kiesel. Epiphone. 74. Epiphone. 74. They're identical, right? I mean, the ear doesn't lie. So, like, that's where I was. And I was like, okay, we're going to have to actually not try anything else out and just start recording, because I want to get my reactions here. I don't want to have to fake shit at you guys. And I'm kind of shocked. I thought I would hear some kind of difference. I'm still holding out, actually. I'm still holding out, because before I'm done here, I'm gonna run through this, like I said, both guitars. We're gonna do a little solo chest test here real quick. And then I wanna see how they sound compared to each other through my normal rig, which is Overloud's THU, right? My baller banging rig. I wanna see like what really goes down. And I'm gonna play them. I'm gonna really try some solo-y shit and like see how they feel different, because so far they don't feel a lot different, not at all. So we've heard all those differences in solo bits, so I'll try and do a very similar little solo bit for each one. Need to get the whole loop playing without things soloed. Alright, so we'll just do this real simple. Okay, so for this solo loop, we'll just do something real simple. there's our Epiphone. Now let's do that same thing on the Les Paul. Okay, so we've got the 74 in hand. Let's do the same thing. Just a simple little silly solo. And let's see what happens. Turn that up just a hair. This clip. Here's the Epiphone. Back to the Les Paul. Les Paul. Epiphone. Let's solo him. Epiphone. Or no. Gibson. This is the 74. Epiphone. I don't know, guys. This sounds pretty identical. If you don't agree with me, man, like, let me know down here, because this $200 guitar, this Epiphone that I bought in a parking lot off of Craigslist, for those in America that know what Craigslist is, it sounds, if I'm listening to the sound and I don't know anything else, if we did like blind test, I wouldn't know what to pick. There may be a tiny more grit, like a tiny more bit of signal, power, gain, something in the 74. Here's the 74. Like that growliness. Here's the Epiphone. I hear it on the when it goes down. That part. It's like maybe a tad more growly. Let's go high. Let's let it go high. Let it go at the top. Epiphone 74. Epiphone 74. Okay, what I'm hearing on this section, which I just want to hear these high notes, it's a little more singy, I think, the 74, a little more sustainy. Let's hear. Epiphone 74. And you might be able to say it's how I was playing it, and how I did the vibrato over those parts, but it's so similar. If I was very much pressed, it's almost like tasting wine or tasting like expensive whiskey and stuff like that. Like, you're really splitting hairs. And are the hairs that you're splitting worth thousands and thousands of dollars? To me, no. I wouldn't pay for it. But I think I might maybe do hear it a little. Epiphone. $74. I mean, we can do that all day. It might sound 1% better. In the mix, are we going to hear that in the mix? Do you think we'll hear that in the mix? Not really. Epiphone Les Paul. They're 74. Epiphone. I mean, yeah, you could do that all damn day. There's no point. So, so far, we're landing on these guitars sound identical. And I'm about to try it in Overloud THU. We'll see what happens there. And I mean, I'm a little surprised. I guess I'm not that surprised. I'm a little surprised though. So let's run them through Overloud and see if we have the same. Because really, the only thing that's different about these guitars is the monumental amount of money you would spend on one versus the other. And I know this one's a vintage one. And it's, you know, it's old and it's weathered. It's been played for 40 years. So it might be different from a pristine, brand new $5,000, guitar. And these go for $7,000 and $8,000 on Reverb. Cleaned up and in good shape and stuff like that. Like I said, this one's been through it. So, I estimate it like a $5,000 guitar. And that's most assuredly a $200 guitar, and we're hearing them side by side right now. And there's no reason in the world, unless you have piles of money and want to have that Les Paul. There's no reason to buy it. And other than, I will say, this one's 2 pounds heavier, 2 whole pounds. That's a lot of pounds hanging off your body when you're doing stuff. I do think this one. Probably only because of its weight, the extra 2 pounds, it feels better balanced, but other than that, they feel pretty identical. The neck on the Epiphone, I think, feels a little chunkier. This one feels a little sleeker. These frets definitely feel a little flatter. They definitely have more of that, like that Les Paul flat fret kind of thing. And they all seem to be totally kind of okay, whereas these are standing up a little bit more. But so anyways, let's see what happens when we run this thing through Overloud. Okay, so we've got the Les Paul, the 74. And we're going to run this through THU, and this is it's a Soldano model. Let you have a look over here. That we'll be using. It's one of my go-to amps, a Hot Rod 100. We've even got a tube screamer in front of it. We can maybe not do that. We'll do that for the solo test. So, what do we got? And I just put new strings on these, so yeah. Both guitars got the exact same strings. Let's turn all that echoey off. Don't need that. We feel a bit bright, but that's okay. We can kill a little bit of that actually. Okay. Let's kick it. Okay, now we've got the Epiphone. Let's go ahead and do the same thing with the Epiphone. Okay. Solo them up. This is the Epiphone. That's the 74. This is the Epiphone. 74. They sound basically the same. The attack on the Epiphones was different, but they're virtually identical still. Again, let's do let's pop out one here for a solo thing. And put the delay back on. Give a little reverb too. Why not? Turn the channel on or solo it. Everything's soloed. Haha. Change guitars, get tangled in headphone wires, because that's what we do the most. All right, we've got the 74 in hands now. Let's do the same thing. Gotta turn it up some because you can't really hear it. Playing a bunch of bad notes. Gotta kind of play the same thing. Epiphone. So yeah, they're coming out. They're coming out pretty identical, y'all. I don't know what to tell you. Ears don't lie. Maybe my ears lie. If my ears are lying, tell me you disagree. Down south in the comments. So what, I don't have anything like warmed up to play. Forget all these notes, but I mean it. It's pretty smooth. It's not as smooth as the Kiesel. There's not anything that I've ever had that plays as smooth as the Kiesel. That is the best fretboard I think that's ever been made. So oh look, the sun's shining in now. I mean, I guess it plays about the same. It doesn't. There's something slightly different. And it might be the stoutness of that guitar. Whoa! Look at those bling blings. It may be the stoutness. That's what I mean, like the weight, the everything that comes along with that 74 Les Paul. I don't know. I mean, if I were to cite a difference, that's where I would find a difference that I would cite. It's going to be in the magic factor. I like playing that guitar. There's something about when I hold this guitar, the 74, there's something about this guitar in particular, and it may just be my sentimental connection to this guitar. I don't know what, I don't know what it actually is, but there's something a little more magical about playing this guitar. And what that's going to equate to is more inspired playing. So in that sense, I would take this guitar all day for the inspiration. Inspiration is not cheap. Not at all. But I guess it feels a little more solid, a little more maybe well made. It feels like more of a guitar than that one. But when you get right down to it, how it plays and how it sounds, they both play well. That one plays. I wouldn't be like crushed if someone was like, you have to play this. You have to have this playing experience versus that playing experience. You got to have that one. I wouldn't be crushed. I'd be like, okay, they're pretty similar. I think I'll get by. Tone-wise, same thing. If somebody said, you got to have that tone. That's your tone from now on versus this one. I might say, okay. I'm not crushed. Either way. So that's my verdict. If I had to today spend money, if I and my current everything equal, I'd say someone like, okay, you have to get a Les Paul. What are you going to do? Are you going to go spend over a lot of money, like a couple $1,000 on like a serious Les Paul, or are you going to go get an Epiphone Les Paul? I'm absolutely going to go get an Epiphone Les Paul. As much as I hate to say that, but that's also because I'm a thrifty kind of a consumer, like I've hinted at. And if you've watched the channel, so that's what's up, dude. Go Epiphone. I'm kind of shocked. Who knew this was going to happen? But, it has. So, stranger things have happened. Anyways, that's it. I don't have anything else to tell you about these two guitars, dude. So, smash the like. Isn't that what everybody says? Smash the like. Hit it, if you're inclined. That's like a tip. That's like a tip that you don't have to pay for. Because it kind of is like pay for us. On this side of the lens, Eventually that turns into money somewhere, they say. I hope this was useful to you if you're, looking at weighing these options, or you're just curious. Who knows? You're just wasting some time like me. I don't know. At least that's what I'm usually doing. It seems like when I'm watching stuff about guitars, it's fodder. So anyways, thank you for coming by and watching. Hit the subscribe thing if you're inclined. Hit the like thing too if you'd like to. That really helps out. Okay, that's it. My verdict is, if you're, unless you've got extra money laying around, if tone and playability are what you're after, Epiphone probably should be your choice. Wow. It's an insane thing to say. Says the guy who has a 74 custom sitting here. So, have a great day. Thanks for coming by. Hit the like button and help a guy out. Hit the subscribe button, help a guy out even more. Cheers. Rock your day.